when we talk about, let's use a dynamic example like the Matrix, right? In the movie, the lady, she was like, "Hey, I need a helicopter," and
Mm-hmm. Yes.
she
I
called up
remember
the
that scene.
dispatch and said, "Hey, I need a helicopter."
Mm-hmm.
And what he did was he downloaded the program to her subconscious mind so that she can understand how to fly the helicopter.
Woo!
You see what I'm saying? So all we got to do is
Wow.
download the program to our subconscious mind,
Wow.
and we could become millionaires. We could lose weight. We could kick our addictions. We could get in the best relationships we want to live in. We could live in the house we want to live in, the mansion or the environment. We could travel the world. We could do all those things that we desire so much. But the problem is that our subconscious mind is not even ours.
Love family. Thank you for tuning in to the Macabre House TV. And I am your interviewer known as Roulette. And I am interviewing a special guest known as Antoine Maurice Gordon. This powerful brother is a Dogon apprentice, a Scientology major, and he's a master in mental alchemy. So, Antoine, before we get into talking about your upcoming course, tell the people about yourself.
Well, well, how can I say? I was born in Brooklyn, New York, raised in Queens. Pretty much grew up in a household of two working class parents that did the very best that they could with the resources that they had. My parents, they were together for quite some time, and then they separated when I was about 13 years old. I'm the oldest of three children from my mother, and basically just grew up in the South Jamaica, Queens area, uh, more specifically the 40 projects, which was a very profound take on my life as far as developing and understanding certain aspects to life and stuff like that. I wouldn't say life was rough growing up. It was definitely not as rough as what I bear witness to growing up in South Jamaica, Queens, and New York. But it was definitely different. But it also was a great experience. It was fun. It was one of the best memories of my life growing up in those times. I went to August Martin High School, played football, dropped out when I was about maybe 16, started pursuing business venture ideas, got into publications, started a recycling company. I was a party promoter. I sold cologne on the streets. I mean, my life was straight sales. And I learned a lot from that as well, as far as how to overcome objections and pique people's interests, use the fear of loss, and stuff like that. Played football for a little while, played 6 years semi-pro football with the New York Panthers. I had a trial with the Dallas Cowboys at one time. And then, married, had kids. And then, pretty much around maybe 2000, so I moved to Atlanta, Georgia, which is my new adopted home, and pretty much moving on from there and stuff like that. So that's where I'm at now.
Okay, beautiful. So basically, you grew up in Queens.
Yes, sir.
Grew up in Queens. So with you growing up in Queens and going through the experiences you went through, what could you say? What experiences caused you to actually go into this line of work regarding consciousness, or should I say, in your case, the subconscious?
Well, I grew up with preferably my mother, and I had an uncle they were, Christians, ministers, and stuff like that. So I grew up Christian. And one of the interesting things as a kid, when you're into Christianity, you learn about God and the devil and all this other stuff, and how powerful God is and Jesus and stuff like that. It was like one of those things as a kid, and kids are just so intuitive. We're just so, kids are so spiritually gifted around that particular time. My intuition popped in and asked a powerful question to my mother. And that powerful question to my mother was, Mom, how come God just won't kill the devil and put an end to all this madness? And my mother's response was, son, we don't question God. It is what it is. And right then and there, at that age, I just didn't accept that. So at that particular time, I didn't really have the resources. I didn't really know what research was and stuff like that, but I was a young kid. And at that particular time, I didn't have a good reading habit or good reading skills at that particular time. But I told myself, if I've ever learned how to read on a level where I can comprehend and stuff like that, I'm going to find out why God won't kill the devil, so that this question doesn't have to haunt me for the rest of my life. And then from that point on, my journey into consciousness, which led into subconsciousness, it just started to unravel itself through all the different schools of thought that I went through, which is Christianity, Islam, Buddha, Santeria, the Moorish Science temples, the Nawapians, African culture and spiritualism, voodoo, Palomayumbe. I mean, I went through all the major religious or culturally spiritual systems out there to come to the conclusion that at the end of the day, it's all subconscious. And we are all programmed by the beliefs that have been installed upon us to make us act and think the way that we do.
Powerful.
Yeah.
So the upcoming course that's coming up. You named this course SELFMASTERPRENEUR.
Yeah.
Wow. Take a moment of silence on that one. How did you come up with this particular phrase or this word, self-masterpreneur? How did you come up with this?
It came later on in my later ages, around maybe 35, 36 years old and stuff like that. But it was a collaboration of words, because growing up, once I found the ability to be able to comprehend and read a lot more better on different levels, I began to fall in love with the library. And once I fell in love with the library, I must have been like maybe 15, 16 years old. I stayed in the library so much, like that was like my second home. And I read a lot of self-help books being in the library. And this is before there was a Google or Yahoo or any type of search engines out there. I was in the books. I was reading heavy. I was taking books home with me. I had stacks of books. I mean, like, I had so many lateness fees on my library card because of returning the books kind of late. But based off of reading a lot of self-help books, business books, just marketing, sales, psychology, Black culture, just so many different genres of subjects, after a while, I was what we considered to be a poor righteous teacher. I was rich in knowledge, but broke as hell and money or whatever the case may be. So I was like a starving artist almost. And fast forward to a couple of years later, I started to get more into entrepreneurship. One of the books that really opened my eyes to business was Rich Dad Poor Dad. So I read that book like back in 2000 and stuff like that. So based off of that alone, I started having self-help and then entrepreneurship and then different avenues of mastery and things, because I was messing with people like Anthony Robbins and how to have unlimited power and stuff like that. I was reading his books and so on and so forth. So, and then I was a part of a organization where I was able to get mentored by a very powerful mentor. He's still my mentor to this day, where he had a private organization where we were able to actually just be trained in developing yourself on a higher level. And pretty much I outgrew the organization to the point where I said, you know what, I need to come out with my own brand. And I needed something that was going to catch people's attention, something that complimented me, who I am and what I do, and something that could be like, universal, and it could fit into any genre or category and stuff like that. So I came up with SELFMASTERPRENEUR because it dealt with yourself, being able to master yourself, and also being able to turn it into a business. So I just merged those words together, and that's how SELFMASTERPRENEUR came about.
Wow. You taught yourself, it was a point in time where you didn't know how to read.
Right.
But you were so determined to learn how to read. So you did everything in your power to learn how to read.
Right.
That right there is the epitome of there's no excuses.
Right.
Now, we speak about the subconscious mind. What is the actual lifestyle of being tapped into the subconscious? What is the lifestyle that you are living while being tapped in, while dealing with the subconscious mind?
Good question. So, the subconscious lifestyle, so the thing is this, is that what we don't understand is that our subconscious mind or our subconscious computer is the reason we are who we are today. From the relationships you're in, for the type of money you make, the environment you live in, the kind of health you have. I mean, you just name it. Everything you see going on around you is because of the habitual habit of your subconscious computer that is only producing what is in your program to produce. So that means you only will attract whatever your subconscious computer has in that programming system that you're currently carrying around, which is considered your law of attraction. So when that movie came out, The Secret, what it failed to explain is how do you attract what you want and to be able to live the lifestyle you want to have. And what they didn't tell you is that in order to live that lifestyle you want, you first have to program it in to your subconscious computer. So what based on what I'm really trying to say is this: your subconscious computer is actually the same computer that you use on a daily basis, your laptop or your desktop. The thing is this: if you want your computer to do a certain task or to perform a certain way, you have to first download the program in order for it to do that type of task. The computer is a replica of the mind or the brain. All they did was create a faster device to make up for what the brain lacks in. So basically they said, okay, well, we're going to create a computer so we can compute math problems a lot more quicker. So if I ask you what's 1,000,000 times 250 billion, you probably couldn't calculate that as fast as a regular computer would. because the brain will have to take time to figure that out. But if you practice it, obviously over time you'll be able to calculate things in that nature. But we just wanted something more faster and something that doesn't get tired. Because as humans, we do get tired. We want to go to sleep. But the computer don't never have to go to sleep. It can just keep running all day, all night, and doing whatever work needs to get done. This is why we have software, artificial intelligence, and all this other stuff, right? So the thing is this. The subconscious mind is a computer. So when we talk about, let's use a dynamic example like the Matrix, right? In the movie, the lady, she was like, "Hey, I need a helicopter," and she called up the dispatch and said, "Hey, I need a helicopter." And what he did was he downloaded the program to her subconscious mind so that she can understand how to fly the helicopter.
Woo!
You see what I'm saying? So all we got to do is download the program to our subconscious mind, and we could become millionaires. We could lose weight. We could kick our addictions. We could get in the best relationships we want to live in. We could live in the house we want to live in, the mansion or the environment. We could travel the world. We could do all those things that we desire so much. But the problem is that our subconscious mind is not even ours. Right? So the sad part is this. It's not even ours. Our subconscious mind, 50% of the programs that you currently have today as an adult comes from your parents, your mother and your father. So whatever your mother worried about, whatever your father worried about, whatever addictions your mother had, whatever addictions your father had, you have it too. And you're not even aware that you're not aware, but you do know that you want to do greater things. But the reason you can't do greater things because you're being hindered and held hostage by your own parents' subconscious genetic DNA that's in your mind right now. And then another sad part is that on 25% on top of that, you're also been programmed by your own environment. So in actuality, you're only living 25% of your own program. This is why you're constantly in conflict with yourself and don't even know it. So the question is, how do we get rid of that? How do we get rid of my mom, my dad, the environment I grew up in? Because I don't really have no control over my life. Here I am, I'm trying to be successful. But because my parents don't know what success is, or the environment that I lived in don't know what success is, I suffer. And you might not even be aware that you're suffering because of your parents.
Woo!
So that's what it really all boils down to, is that we are carrying something that doesn't even belong to us. And this is why it was important for me to bring this information to the forefront.
Wow. Woo. That's a lot right there to digest.
It is. It definitely is, yeah.
How did you come about this knowledge?
Man. So basically, the information, like I said, I was doing a lot of research, and I was doing a lot of studying. I was going to webinars, seminars. It's like I went through all the different schools of religion and all those studying and stuff like that. I was on a massive search for self. And I just knew that there was something deeper. I knew there was something greater out there that can explain that first question I ever asked my mother. How come God won't kill the devil? And I found out that the answers are lying within. And it's in your subconscious computer. So there's no devil. There's no outside, higher source than you, because you're here right now. You're here for a particular reason. And we have to become truly aware and conscious to the fact that we are all being programmed to be controlled because of the different devices that are out there, and there are insecure people out there that want to control the masses of the people through religion, through the food you eat, through the school you go to, through your job, the way you see money. I mean, I remember growing up and say, yo, can I get some money? And say, you think money grow on trees? That's a program. So now I think about money. I'm telling my kids, Dad, can I get some money? You think money grows on trees? Where did I get that from?
You got that from the program that was instilled onto you.
Right. So we are like, it's almost like you inherit belief systems that hinder you or designed to help you fail anyway. When we were all designed and born to win, because we beat out 700 million sperms to get here, and then you win by getting here, but then you come into the world, then you're being designed and programmed to lose. So to answer the question is that coming across this information was because of the massive, long search and finally meeting my mentor, which is a Dogon priest that gave me information that not only gave me information, but he helped me to understand that everybody has a righteous and an unrighteous side to them, but they're also connected to the universal laws that govern this universe based off of the energy in your name. So with that being said, I can tell you what type of challenges you have based off of the energy in your name. I can tell you what kind of karmic debts you have based off the energy in your name. I can tell you what challenges plague you at your current age, and after your 36 years, what challenges are going to plague you after your 36 years of age, into the second phase, into the third phase, and how you can eliminate those phobias from carrying on to the second phase or the third phase of your life. And that right there is how I'm able to pinpoint exactly what is going on with you. So what I did was I put together a lifestyle strategy just for you based off of the energy in your name.
And when you say my name, you speaking about the birth name?
Yeah, I'm talking about the name you use on your birth certificate.
Okay.
What we don't know is that our birth name is our GPS of the reason why we're here on earth at this particular time. Now, I know it sounds spooky as hell, right? But see, this is science.
What?
This is called spiritual science that actually debunks all myths and beliefs and go ahead and give you full truth, even if you don't like it.
Interesting. This is... You are the first person to come to the Macabre House TV and drop that type of information.
Oh, well, thank you.
So, you know, we have in this community that we're in, this conscious community, most people, you know, tend to change their names.
That is true.
Tend to change their names for various amounts of reasons.
That is true.
Whether they don't want to use the name for government. They don't want to, it's a government name, so they don't want to use that name since it's tied to the government.
Right.
Also a reason for to be rebellious against maybe their parents that haven't taught them what they wanted to be taught. So they use the new name to rebel against their childhood or their parents. But what you're saying is that the name, that birth name, that birth name that we came on this planet with, that holds the GPS to our birthright. So what can you say about the people that change their name? Like, what can you say about the people that change their name from their birth name to a chosen name?
They're under another belief system. It's that simple. If they really knew this information or this knowledge, they would know that you chose that name because that's what you came to do here on this earth. That was the energy you chose to operate in. That's like saying to an astronaut that goes into outer space and says, "I'm gonna take off my astronaut suit because I don't want to wear this suit while I'm in space." You just killed yourself. You just lost all your oxygen. Now you just got vacuumed out. So when people do that and they start operating out of another name, they're automatically denying themselves of their spiritual gifts. That's based off of the science that's designed in their name. If I go anywhere in the world and I call your number, guess what I'm gonna get? I'm gonna get you.
You're gonna get me.
I ain't gonna get nobody else. But if I die, if I'm off by just one number in your phone number, I'm not gonna get you.
You're gonna get a total.
I'm gonna get a totally different person. So when people change their names, they just change one number in their phone number. Now they're getting a totally different person. They automatically deny themselves, and they go through more trauma than they would if they would just face who they are.
So they basically switch their birthright.
Basically.
To basically they switch their birthright to something that they really don't even need to do. Right, they go through trauma. They go through situations unnecessarily via using that chosen name, the name that they picked for themselves. And that name, basically, you said that the name basically names have vibrations. They carry vibrations.
Names do have vibrations. Names definitely have a vibration to it. So when you say a person's name, is you're drumming up a vibration to them that identifies with them.
So the name. So basically, what you're saying is, so the name literally has its own realm of reality.
It does. It does. It's your
deep.
altitude and latitude of your current plane of existence. Wow. And then let's not get into the birth date, because if we get into the birth date, the day you did your solar return, even that is a connection to why you're here at this present time and moment. So, I deal with things on, I don't want to say on a higher level, because what's a higher level? We're all here on the same level. So the thing is, I just deal with a more provoking, more fact, evidence, and demonstrable information, where no one has to deal with lies no more or beliefs. I could just go ahead and let you know, so that you can have the truth and go ahead and be able to live your best life.
Wow. So my next question is, basically, who are you looking to help? What is your target audience for the Self-Masterpreneur course?
I'm looking to help people that are facing like addictions, depression, people that's trying to wonder why relationships are not working for them. Women, why are there so many women single? Why are there so many men that are single? Why I'm looking to help people that are having challenges in finances. I'm looking to help businesses that are looking to get their sales force together and get them to the level of performance where they need to be. I'm looking to help athletes that may have hit a roadblock where they're not performing at their peak performance when they first got into the leagues, or whatever the case may be. I'm looking to help the executive. I'm looking to help anybody that is looking to remove the blockages that causes them to keep repeating the same challenges that they need to overcome. So
okay. Wow. Because we definitely, a lot of our people suffering from anxiety, suffering from depression,
right,
on all levels,
right,
rich, poor,
right.
Doesn't really matter. It's really good, really tapping into, because a lot of us are lost in our purpose.
Right.
So basically what you coming with will definitely help a lot of people that's not on their purpose. So with that being said, what is the outcome of this course? What is the outcome? What basically is the outcome of this course, this self-masterpreneur course that you coming with?
Well,
what will this do for us?
Well, the key is to show you how to pinpoint people's challenges, right? Because everybody's challenges are going to be different. It may be similar to soul, but some people really have strong challenges, to things because it affects them differently. So the purpose is to pinpoint exactly where the problem is at through the name and the date of birth, and be able to pinpoint it. And then we take that information and then we go ahead and remove the program that is causing them to keep attracting that same situation. And then we implement a program that is going to allow them to thrive in that area that they've been struggling with. So that's exactly what the Self-Masterpreneur course is going to do. It's going to help people become practitioners of this information so that they can be able to help others, because I can't do it all by myself.
Absolutely. Each one teach one.
Yes.
So basically, my last question would be, if you could do anything to change the world, what would it be?
To put this system into every institution of universities, institutions, public schools, high schools, around the world, to be able to help people to identify with a system that is a lot more faster, get straight to the point, not a whole bunch of sessions after sessions after sessions, time after time. People want to be cured instantly. And this is so that people can get instant relief and not have to go through a constant, consistent program that takes time. Like if you went to a therapist, a psychologist, just all those sessions of reliving the same past painful experiences when you ready to get rid of it now and stuff like that. So this is so that we can get rid of it right now on the spot, remove that program, implement the program that we want, and baby, you can start functioning as a sound person that is able to live their best life.
That is a big change.
Yeah.
A very big change, and actually one of the most important changes. That really needs to happen on this planet.
Right.
The school system is not doing anything.
Right.
It's
not designed to.
It's not designed to.
Right.
Right. So, wow. So, we have this course coming up, and could you say it? Self-Masterpreneur?
Self-Masterpreneur. Yeah, it's Self-Masterpreneur, the subconscious lifestyle.
The subconscious lifestyle.
Right.
Man, we enjoyed your time here at the Macabre House.
Thank you for having me.